Welcome back to another live stream Wednesday here at the Point3 Podcast, the Wednesday after Heroes Con. We're going to be talking about Fantastic Four, the final trailer that we get with exactly 1 month away from the film coming out in theaters, and then also Ironheart non-spoiler reaction, the new Disney Plus series that came out. Got a 3-episode premiere, but we're going to be talking about it all. As always, we are your favorite trio of hosts. At the top left, we have Lou. We have super fantastic ultra spider Brando. We're just going to keep adding adjectives to
Oh, I got another one. Super fantastic ultra new 52 spider Brando.
That one is going to be something that people will have to understand when they watch the Heroes Con vlog. Gentlemen, how are you doing? How are you feeling after we had this awesome weekend? Already basically a week ago.
It feels nuts. That's why the 4 days flew by, and it was great. Great to be with y'all in person.
It was super
fun con too. Very, very fun con.
Yeah, it was. Did you take away anything? Like, is there a moral to your story from Heroes Con, SB?
I think there is. A really good one, actually.
I have a gambling addiction.
Call 1-800-HELP-SB.
Yeah.
No, I ain't doing those. We'll see if I do mystery polls next year.
No,
I gotta do at least one. Gotta do at least one.
No, there's better things to do.
One.
But yeah, you'll see. You guys will see in the vlog everything we talk about between the mystery pools and all the other stuff that we got up to. Our hauls. SB posted his up already. We'll be posting ours a little bit later on. So definitely stay tuned to the channel if you haven't. We're getting closer to the end of June, a fantastic June, right? Right now we have uploaded the Coming of Galactus storyline, the original trilogy, Fantastic Four 48 through 50. So if you haven't, after this live, go watch that because we bring some awesome details into the Coming of Galactus and what they could do in this coming movie. But gentlemen, without further ado, let's continue on Fantastic June with the final Fantastic Four trailer. It was rumored over the weekend that we were going to be getting one. And then what was it, Monday or yesterday? Actually confirmed by an Instagram post from Marvel Studios that we were. It dropped this morning. But Lou, I'm going to kick it over to you. What did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. I think it just carries on the Fantastic Four that they've given us over the last couple months. Obviously, they added some goodies into this one. Got some deeper looks at some of the characters. Finally, got some voice lines from Silver Surfer, Shala Bay, and saw a little bit more of Galactus. And with that, I'm not going to steal your thunder, Hero. I know you were looking for this, and you got it. Tell the Point3 people what it was.
Yeah, so if you did watch that Coming of Galactus video, a big point that I wanted was for them to show kind of the more comic book accurate routes of Galactus and how they kind of show his ship and how that's a big part of him and sending down his equipment to prepare the world for him to drain it of its energy. And we're getting exactly that. Him and his ship. It's a big part of him. I love that. It's those types of simple things that I think really elevate Galactus's character a lot, and a lot of adaptations don't use. So the fact that I saw that in the trailer got me super, super hyped up.
Yeah. Spiderbeard. What'd you think, man?
I liked just I don't know why that threw me off, but speaking of beards, the Thing had his beard in that trailer, and that was very interesting to see. I'd like to I don't know how it works, but I'm excited. I thought that was cool. Seeing Galactus was stomping through the streets was awesome. And I just like how they're just slow. It's just like the Superman trailer and teaser, just slowly like just adding more scenes to what they've already been showing us. And neither trailer has really truly shown us like too much about the movie yet. And something that Marvel's been kind of debatable has been kind of on the verge of showing a little too much in their trailers, but I haven't really had the case. I haven't really had the feel for that yet. And if anything, I think this was like a perfect final one to get us clamoring for the next month.
Yeah.
Seen other powers finally too, kind of. Reed, not so much still, but I get why they. I don't know why they haven't as much. But seeing Johnny do the 4 kind of pay off that random Earth Day artwork they did last year with the 4 was cool. I don't know. Maybe they might actually do like some life story stuff and go through some decades. Like, I definitely think they showed beard, not decades, a couple years. I definitely think they showed the beard on the thing to get that point across that there's like a little time jump. And obviously, we see Franklin as a baby, probably a couple months in. I think there's going to be some time jump, but it makes me feel like we got that cool Coming of Galactus and a life story blend, and we just talked about those. So.
Yeah. I do like the time aspect. I think the seeds that they've planted for these trailers and some teasers make you think, we're going to get somewhat of a retelling of an origin to where they're at, where Galactus comes. And if it is anything like life story, there's going to be some time, if we at least know that Sue is pregnant, and then obviously we see Franklin. So like, we know we have months for sure within the movie. I wanted to call out one thing that I thought was okay, but when I keep thinking about it, it's better and ages well, and it is Reed. Although we're not seeing too much of his power set in these trailers, which we know some, given that power set, it could be more demanding to kind of do, and we're going to see more of it on screen than we do on some trailer spots. But I do like that they continuously put that message of like, Reed is going to try and find a solution to save everyone from Galactus. And the way that he's portraying it, there's like a lack of confidence that's coming across. And I think that's essential to making your Reed feel really good, is not the I'm sure there'll be moments in this where he is overconfident, but knowing that this threat might be the biggest thing that they've ever faced. And you feel that for a longer period of time, especially as Surfer shows up. I mean, that's ripped right out of the pages. And I think some of the better stories we've been reading, you get that sense from Reed. And that to me is like, this movie's story is probably going to hit really well. Like, I just get the vibes this is going to be a really strong story.
Agreed. And I think it's going to deal very much so with what the people will end up thinking about the Fantastic Four and how they switch up on them, because they make it a big deal. And I think throughout all the marketing they've done, it's been a big deal about how they're celebrities, they're Earth's protectors, and people look up to them. And I do think it's really cool the fact that based on the trailer, it seems they go up to not fight, but kind of get to the bottom of Silver Surfer and Galactus. And then what they see shakes them to their core, and they just have to retreat and run. And they come back shook, and everybody's like, what are we doing? Like, what's going to happen? And in the trailer, they're like, can you help us? And Reed's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think they can do something really cool where they maybe make the people flip on the heroes. Because even though most of the MCU has dealt somewhat with the fallout of like the general public, not many has made that the forefront. And I think Fantastic Four could.
Yeah.
And could tell that story well.
Yeah. I think that Armageddon story is a very good story. And having that kind of horseman type character come up to prophesize like the end is near. Because I think really good Reed stories do include the Reed who doesn't know the answer, but he's very curious and he's very experimental and he's very explorative. And I think when you couple all those together, that version of Reed is very powerful when it comes to a Galactus. Yeah. And if you start incorporating like that overprotectiveness of Reed, not just for the family, but for like the Earth and the people, the promise that he's going to make of like, I need to give them comfort, but inside he's like, what the hell am I going to do? Like, I have no idea. Like, this is a brand new entity. I don't have the answer because I've never experienced it. It's like, what does he do to ultimately get to the point where they win? And at the end of the day, I don't think the trailers have given us vibes that they're going to win per se. I don't know. Have you guys felt that? Like, does it feel like to you, even in this last trailer, Galactus is the pinnacle of this and we don't know what's going to happen?
It doesn't really feel that way.
Yeah, I think it's more of one of those. Yeah, I agree. I think it's more of a if they win, it's because they're able to find something to distract, maybe. And I think if anybody watches wrestling, it's getting that like roll up, like we squeaked out the 3 count, like we got their shoulders on the mat, but it isn't like we really beat them. We got them for a second to get away or to shift the focus onto something else. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they do with Galactus, where they don't beat him, they find a way to push him back or something like that.
Yeah.
To where we will definitely see him come back in the second one, and that's when it's like, okay, we gotta deal with him again this time, and this time we don't get that benefit of a distraction win, so to say.
One other thing I want to add, not to get in the realm of like speculation on the movie, I just think again from the vibes of this trailer and finally getting like Chalaba's, I'm gonna call her Chalabay for the rest of my life. Some voice lines of like the Herald, what she is saying. Here, I think you were saying, and I don't know, SB, if you what is it? I can't remember off the top of my head what she says.
Oh, I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
That was a nasty line.
Hard.
That was a nasty line. That was nasty.
Hard.
I think it's just the way that she delivers it too.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I wonder if this version or interpretation of Surfer isn't going to be a Surfer that bails them out with Galactus.
It makes me feel like this Surfer is more hardened.
Yeah.
A lot more hardened.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a lot more to get through to her what the value of a life is, or what human life could be. I don't think it's going to be as easy as 07's Fantastic Four, where it's like, hey, you remind me of my dead wife potentially, or not dead wife, but like you remind me of my wife. So like I had just helped you out because of that.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot more.
Yeah. No Alicia of like, oh, I fell into your room. And she's like, oh, I'm blind, but you sound so poetic. Let's talk. Oh, this is love. I don't think that's going to be the case. I still think it's going to revolve around Franklin some way. Like that's the life is precious type of thing. It's a baby.
Yeah.
But I very well could see just the portrayal of this, especially in this. This Surfer could be like destruction incarnate on her own. And if they do defeat her, like, good luck. But like, bro, Galactus is coming. Like, y'all are screwed. Like this trailer at the end of the day just makes me feel like they're screwed. And I want to see how they make it out of this movie. I am very intrigued by everything we've gotten to this point, and they just really like solidified it for me of like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I agree. I definitely feel like if you were someone who was like on the fence on the movie, if you were still trying to figure out if you wanted to see it or not, this is the trailer that won you over. I think the people that watch it, they view this and they're like, yeah, Fantastic Four is going to be pretty good. I'm excited. I think it's the most solid like 8 out of 10 trailer you can get, in the sense of like, not that it can't be a 10 out of 10, but I think it has a higher ceiling. And I think it reached the highest level it could without having to go like further beyond. So in a way you could say 10 out of 10, but like, I think my excitement level is an 8 out of 10 better said.
Agreed.
Because of the trailer.
And I will say this is kind of like a double-edged sword. I do think overall the Superman trailers have kind of won that trailer battle between the two movies. But the fact that we still can be this excited in parallel and in tandem with Superman just shows you the quality of the Fantastic Four, which it feels very high quality, y'all. I don't think anything
Does.
about this looks crappy. I don't think it sounds crappy. It looks super solid. But once Superman's done, like, I'll be very curious to see how the hype shifts with the time, and if they give us one more final look, like what that's going to do for people. I have a feeling the week before and week of, the 8 out of 10s are going to go to 9 to 10s.
I could see that. And yeah, to that point, you look at the
especially if Superman is good.
Yeah.
Or when Superman is good, because we know it's gonna be good, hopefully. But I think that's just gonna elevate it too. If people wanting to get on to compare and hopefully a good faith way of like, oh, like this just great time to be comic book fans, and that'll get the hype even more. Seeing two juggernauts finally producing great freaking movies back to back.
But it is, though, like, guys, as superhero fans, like, I'm sorry, but I'm still riding the high for these projects, and like the closer we get to them, I feel that Born Again, Thunderbolts, Superman, Ironheart, which we're going to talk about here in a second, and Fantastic Four, like, those to this point,
myself after July.
yeah, we're screwed after July.
I was gonna say that's kind of the bigger feeling that I get, where it's like we're gonna be coming off of such a big high over the past couple months. Where I mean, I know we'll get a couple of Disney Plus series and Peacemaker, but I think that's gonna be a lower point as to what we'll get. So like, it's gonna feel weird after July.
But we got the Eyes of Wakanda, baby. Come on,
Eyes of Wakanda. It's gonna be good. I feel like that'll be good. But comparing it to like the excitement level of like a Superman or a Fantastic Four, I don't know.
Hey man, world building. Come on now, MCU. Don't let me down.
Don't let us down, MCU. But yeah, Fantastic Four, first steps, final trailer, 1 month away. Are you excited? Let us know. All I know is that Venom approves. Venom approves.
Symbiote thumb.
Symbiote thumb. Just like this very symbiote thumb. Really enjoyed Ironheart. The 3-episode premiere came out last night, 9 p.m. Silly me forgot that it came out at 9 p.m. There I was sitting down with my lunch, turning on Disney Plus, trying to find it at noon. Stupid me forgot. But here we are a day later. I gotta come on.
It started. Go ahead.
I really like this. I really, really like this. Episodes 1 and 2, I think they're really good episodes. But episode 3 is the one that really, I think, kicks the series off, and I think was the best way to kind of end it off in that cutoff that they're doing, where it's like you get half of the show now, you get half of it later. And I have to say, at no point, because all in all together, I think all 3 episodes were about 2 hours, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Super quick. Went by super quick. Had me hooked from start to finish. Riri Williams, certified character in the MCU that I think people should love. I think she's great. If you don't love her, I think either 1, you're just not an MCU fan, or 2, you are someone who is watching this in bad faith. Because Riri at every scene,
bro, that is the nicest way that you could have said that. Please Google translate that, and you'll know what he really means here. I got fire in my eyes for some of these fake fans out here.
Yeah, and they know who they are. Maybe
not, but you should.
You should.
I hope you do, for the sake of your neighbor.
Yeah. And at this point, if you're watching us, you should know who you are, because we do a good job, I think, of calling you out. But if you don't want us to leave it into interpretation, if you're a racist, you're not going to like this show.
Facts.
If you're sexist, you're not going to like this show.
Facts.
I like this show. This is a great show. They set up very well, and they continue the story of Wakanda Forever super well, and it leads so well into everything that she does in Ironheart. And I think we had this conversation a couple months ago where it's like, I think we kind of asked how they were going to tell this story of her being at the top of the mountain with Wakanda. being able to really make what she wanted to and now having to go back down, how that really is going to feel. How we haven't had a superhero kind of in that situation. So it's interesting to see. Overall, super entertaining. Can't wait till next week.
100%, man. And you know what's funny is there are three very obvious things that happen in this to where I would say if you are an MCU fan and you don't like this, I don't know why. And if you are a superhero fan and you don't like this, I don't know why. And if you are someone who jumped on the bandwagon for the Infinity Saga and rolled with the first couple years of Phase 4, especially Disney Plus, and you like those, I don't know how you don't like these shows.
Agreed.
And the number one reason why is it had perfect formula that people were begging for the MCU to do when Disney Plus was even announced. Introduce a character in the movie as a side character, give them a bigger role in a Disney Plus movie, elevate them during that show to make them feel really good when you put them back into the next movie. Now, will Riri show up in a movie or will she show up in a season 2? I don't think we should go a season 2 route personally. I wholeheartedly believe 50% through this, she is going to be on the level to where if she shows up on a team or in the next movie, you're going to be like, hot damn, we got Riri. There's a good chance we're going to win. She's awesome. She is awesome. And I love in this show how, and we talked about this, and I'm not saying Riri's OP. Don't take that in that context from a strength perspective. But Riri is top tier mentally, for sure, in the MCU. No doubt. We already saw it with Wakanda Forever. You see it here on full display. She's very good at what she does, and she knows that she's really good at what she does. But they put things in front of her to nerf her, to make her have to climb up that mountain again. And it could be as easy, like, and people were just like, oh, damn, she doesn't have the suit in Wakanda Forever. And Shuri's like, no, you keep that here. They're like, that's Wakandan. You got to do your own thing.
Bro.
Yeah, like, sorry. But this show doubles down and makes so many aspects of the MCU feel maybe what was in 7 or 8 out of 10, like a 9 or a 10. And when you look back on the things that they're talking about, there are moments where you kind of took them for granted. Wakanda, for sure, to see how expensive it is to have the suit, to see how difficult it is to acquire everything she has that they had on deck, to see how difficult it is to fund and pay for these things. And she's upfront saying of like, if I wasn't, and this is very true, by the way, PSA, black characters exist in the MCU, shocker. Riri exists in the Marvel comics. It's a really strong story, but it does pay homage to Eve Ewing's run that she has in Story with Riri, 7 issues, to where Riri's strapped. Like, she doesn't have the trust fund. She doesn't have the family to do these things. She doesn't have the same opportunity, but she makes it work with what she has. However, there are people that are willing to take advantage of that. And Riri's very smart, but she's also willing to, I don't want to say compromise herself, because she definitely has a strong moral compass. She just is someone who makes strong decisions. And where a lot of people tiptoe one way, she's like, I got to go 50 over the speed limit to get where it is that I know I need to go. And like, she has this big goal. She wants to be undeniable. That's huge. And she's chasing that dream. But there are consequences to these things. And you see that journey being played out in this. And I think they do a fantastic job of setting up Riri's story, world building in the MCU, adding to the existing world in the MCU, going all the way back to the MCU's inception, and still putting on layers to make you, we could talk about this. I was telling SB this before we jumped on. You can identify a pretty good MCU show if you can theory craft 5 different ways about it that go down 5 different paths.
Yeah.
I think it's very strong.
I was thinking about this myself, and we were talking about it on Discord earlier. So if you haven't, join us on Discord. But genuinely, the ways that they can go about introducing potentially certain characters down the line, we won't get into that too much here. It can really have you excited, right? And not even to the point of like we're doing like WandaVision Multiverse of Madness levels of just like straight insane theories that would never realistically happen. I think you can make theories out of this that sound crazy but aren't that crazy when you really come to think about it, that they are very much so, based on what they've shown us on only 3 episodes, within the realms of possibility.
To add to that real quick, and I think SB, we were just talking about this not too long ago. And I know we were definitely talking about when we did our Daredevil video, but like a lot of people look at the MCU being like, here's cosmic, here's Avengers level, world side, here's street level, and then like, I wish we had more mystical. This story to this point can have you theory crafting logically, grounded, fundamental versions of almost each of those pieces. Maybe not so much cosmic, but like to be able to have foundational conversations about other parts of the MCU, tech, magic, mystical, underground, street level. You're in the city. Who knows about you? The stuff you're doing probably is going to put you on an Avengers radar. Like if Wong shows up for Shang-Chi, Wong should be showing up for Riri. Just saying. Like there's enough that's happening in here to be on the radar for established legit characters to either say, you need to come with us because you need to help us, or you need to come with us because we need to take you off the grid before something bad happens.
Agreed.
And I think that is super cool. And those are just the bones of what people loved about Disney Plus shows. And it's on full display here. I think so far. And side note, her prototype suit 2 in this show is nasty. Nasty.
It looks so good.
It looks awesome. Like I legit, if I could have cosplayed that or like dressed up as that for Heroes Con, 100% would have. 100% would have.
Hey, there's always next year. Straight up Ironheart suit. Yeah. And it, again, I think we talked about this at some point in a live or between us, but like there's been a severe lack of an Iron Man suit within the MCU for a while now. And I want to say probably since Wakanda Forever. But the fact that we're now getting a series based on it, we get to see the cool things that we really liked from all the way in Iron Man 1, where we get to see people jumping out of the suit coming in cool setup scenes. Yeah. Towards the beginning when she's in first suiting up, like that scene is just really cool in its own. And it's not super like
butt. And I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah, and it's not even like a super like, if you want to call it like suit up scene, it's not in the same way that Tony was doing it. But it was still really cool to see. So I want more. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. I think this show is, to quote Riri, undeniable, iconic, to be honest.
I will say, as someone who grew up in Chicago, the homage that they pay to the city and the little nuances and stuff that you put in there, I think that's like a, like a nice little multiplier for me, because it's funny. My wife and I are watching, we're like, it's been so long. Like, it's just so cool kind of seeing that stuff. And it did remind me of the Bear in a lot of ways. And I think I don't know, here, you might have mentioned earlier, but like this show doesn't feel like a Disney Plus show.
Yeah. Agreed.
In a lot of ways, it feels kind of like I'm watching the Bear. I feel like that kind of like a Hulu production type of thing, but it's high quality, y'all. Like it looks good, sounds good, feels good. Also, I do want to throw this out here. The creators of this show know who their audience is and who's going to be watching this.
Very well.
Very, very well. So if you feel like you're tricking everyone, you're like, this is X, Y, and Z. It's a black show. It's this. No, they know. They know. Trust me. If you kind of struggle with that for whatever reason, doesn't matter. You can still watch this. And the Karens of the world are going to be like, that's relatable. It's a show for a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. that's the thing. Like, there's shows where I think there's shows that, like this, that come out and really get to show their own identity and be something cool that a lot of other shows don't normally get to be, where you get to celebrate a culture, celebrate a city, celebrate a character and multiple characters, to be honest. Within this established universe. Not many of these series that we've had so far are able to notch every one of these belts, even when it comes to like the side characters. When it comes to the whole crew that Riri's with, and all the other side characters that come in, like her mother, some friends that come in, they feel great, and they feel like just that they fit so well. Like, no one's forced in here. They all fit. They all have a purpose. They all get time to shine. Again, I don't know what else to say about this show to convince someone to give it a chance or to enjoy it. I really don't.
Yeah, it hit the classic third episode of a Disney Plus show. It's the good one. Yeah, definitely check it out. It definitely did not peak yet. It's building to something really good. It's climbing that ladder in a lot of ways. I will say one last thing. I do think Anthony Ramos as the Hood is solid.
He's a good actor. He's been a good actor since all the way. Shout out Hamilton. Since I first saw him in Hamilton. But in the other things I've seen him in, he's a good actor. And this continues that.
Yeah.
I think. So
yeah.
Do I want to see more Hood? No. Would I want Anthony Ramos back in the MCU? Yes.
Yeah. We can talk some more like deeper spoilers, but I think that's good for now. I think we've touched on most things that I definitely wanted to. Definitely check it out though. I don't think there's any reason not to. There's no reason. You can watch it now. And last thing I'll say. There's potential that for future projects, this will be important, not from the standpoint of a direct plot comparison, but to get you back into the feeling that we've been missing for certain things, which I love to say because we were so hard on this in the beginning to be like, this show's too late. It's too late. I actually feel like it's really well timed right now. Like really well timed in the end. So check it out. It's a cool experience. 3 episodes, almost like it's like watching an MCU movie that went straight to Disney Plus. And that's higher quality. And then next week we get the other half of the event. So it's good. Riri, she's a character. Y'all like Miles.
I don't know how you don't like Riri. If you like
Riri.
Miles.
Same creator.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, the show's fantastic. And again, all 3 episodes hook you really well. And you'll find them super quick. You fly by them and you'll want more, I think. So here's to seeing what they do next week, where we'll be able to give it like a more in-depth discussion, like a better spoiler discussion. And that way we can kind of go into the more spoilery things, because I know also a lot of people haven't gotten a chance to see it quite yet. So that way we give people time before we start, going into the weeds of things.
Want to show a love, though. Want to show a love.
Yeah. But gentlemen, I think that's it for our live today. A little bit on the shorter side, but
should we give them a PSA why?
Yeah. All right. So Fantastic June comes to an end technically next Monday, but at least for us in terms of recording Fantastic June stuff, comes into an end today with the Fantastic Four storyline Unthinkable by Mark Waid. Yes, the very, very, very famous and prolific comic book writer, Mark Waid. It is a Doom-centric story. We haven't had a chance to discuss a more Doom-centered story yet on the pod, especially for Fantastic June. So this one I think is going to be really fun. So definitely stay tuned to the channel over the weekend, probably, to see that, if not on Monday.
Love it. All right, y'all. Keep supporting. We appreciate it, everyone. And by the way, much love to the Point3 people. Y'all have been great. always. But if you've been with us since the beginning, we love you. We know who you are. You know us. But if you're new to the channel, we really appreciate you. You jumped on a fantastic time, no pun intended. We got a lot of good content. And even when you feel that there's nothing else coming out, stay tuned to the Point3 podcast, because we know that the content is going to be lacking for some of your other favorite creators, but not here at the Point3 podcast. We have tons of awesome superhero related things planned for the end of summer through fall. And then before you know it, we're at the end of year and we have something massive planned. So stick around, engage, join Discord. Let's talk about it. Let's keep nerding out. But until next Wednesday, y'all, 3 most important things you got to do is Spider Brando, hit them with the goods.
You must keep watching Ironheart and Fantastic Four, keep reading Ironheart and Fantastic Four, and keep nerding out about Ironheart and Fantastic Four. Because without that, what is there to do?
Who knows?
100%, y'all. We'll see you in the next one.